month with the theme moving more for mental health. So it's not a coincidence that we are also hosting this wellness clinic for civic actors in Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya with a series every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So today's session we'll be talking more on art for mental wellness. But before we delve into that, I just want to invite all of us just to take a moment of reflection on the ongoing in our country, the people who've been affected by the floods, our HRDs who've lost their lives, their family members through the floods. We've seen that the floods is now a national disaster affecting most parts of the country, and I just want us to take a moment just to reflect and honor and respect our departed HRDs. Thank you. And I think in that spirit is just to invite us to extend love, kindness, warmth, generosity, grace to the families who've been affected by floods. And you don't have to be a therapist, you don't have to be a professional, you just have to be human to extend love, kindness, warmth to people, families who've been affected in this country. And that is what we invite us to do. Matters practicing collective care, because that is what indeed collective care looks like. You don't have just to be a professional to extend love, grace, kindness, warmth. I think having said that, it's just to tell us that this wellness clinic being run for the entire month of May is under the Wellness Resource Hub, which is a holistic well-being approach that Ford Foundation supports, and we are really grateful for that support, that seeks to address and respond to the physical and emotional strains civil society organizations face in their day-to-day quest for fighting for justice, equality, empowerment, decolonization, name it. If you're a civic actor fighting for any rights in this country and beyond, this program is meant for you. And for those maybe who are still new to the organization and myself, my name is Salima Njoki Masharia, and I run the program at Inuka, Kenya. So I don't want to waste most of our time, but just to invite the facilitator of today, and her name is Sharon Boy. Sharon is a singer, she's a songwriter, she's a producer, she's a player and a community journalist. So let me invite us to come with our spirit, with our vibe, and I think I can see Sharon smiling, so she has good stuff in thought for us today until 12 p.m. So if you have any questions, if you have comments, please use the spaces provided. You have the chat, you can still raise your hand, but I think Sharon will guide us into how best to participate and interact. So let's enjoy the session. Karibuni sana na asante. Sharon, to you.
Thank you, Salima. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon, and please just allow me to share my screen. I don't know if you're able to see it. Okay, cool. So hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wellness Clinic. It's a project by Inuka, Kenya, and it's dedicated to advocacy, self-love, and collective care, like Salima said. Our goal is to cultivate safe spaces for the holistic wellness of activists and the civic actors. I'll be your facilitator for today's 2-hour session. And before we begin, I'll introduce myself again. My name is Sharon Laura Ongayo Liboi, but popularly known as Liboi. I'm a Nairobi-based singer, songwriter, producer, kalimba player, and community journalist. And I use art and storytelling to express the human experience, also to question humanity and just improve the well-being of the deprived in society. My music is a blend of traditional music with elements of popular African genres. And I embrace the role of an activist due to a sense of being both misrepresented and underrepresented in the narratives presented by mainstream media during my formative years in Kariobangi North, which is where I grew up. I am an advocate of social change, culture, and mental awareness, which are 3 thematic pillars evident in my creative practice. Motivated by a desire to authentically share my own stories, I chose to express myself through art. I still do, as a powerful means of communication and representation. I strongly believe that to foster positive change in the world, individuals must prioritize self-care. And by nurturing their consciousness, embracing self-love, and cultivating inner security, I believe people can enhance their human experience and create environments conducive to others' growth and flourishing. So we're thrilled to have you all join us for this webinar. I can see 31 of you. So thank you so much for joining us. To kick us off, let's allow ourselves to start with an icebreaker, and also just to make this session interactive as possible. And we can use the chat box. Feel free to use the chat box. And if you'd like to also use your mic, you just raise your hand, and then we see how to go about it. Oops, sorry. So I'd like to, again, encourage everyone to introduce themselves using the chat box. You can tell us where you're from, and try as much as possible to not link your introduction to maybe your career. Instead, let's try and delve deeper into who you are. So share your name, where you're from, and then metaphorically describe yourself using an example. I would say, my name is Liboi. I am like a ray of light, and I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. And someone else could maybe say, I'm Sharon, and I am as fierce as fire, and I'm from Tanzania. I don't know. So let's just try to use the chat box. There's someone asking, can the chat be enabled for us to use? Alan, maybe you could help with that. Are people able to use the chat box? Hello, are you able to hear me? I don't want it to look like I'm talking to myself.
I can hear you, Sharon.
Can hear you.
Okay, cool. But then people aren't able to use the chat box. They're saying it's disabled. Chat is disabled, yeah. And is there anyone who'd like to maybe unmute and just introduce themselves without linking your introduction to your career? Okay.
There's a
Hi,
hand up.
everyone. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Maya. Something to describe myself. I've used this before, but I really loved it, which is I'm a force to reckon with. What can I say? I'm a woman. I strongly identify with being a woman, being a feminist, someone who likes to see the good in all people, someone who likes to create spaces where people can come together and feel like they can be themselves and not be judged for it. I'm someone who likes to laugh and not take things too seriously. I'm someone who likes to see the small glimmerances in life that give you hope and not feel too overwhelmed by when things can get very heavy, which unfortunately can be more often than we want. And yeah, I'm really grateful to be here today with you, Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your response. I think we can have two more. And even as you try to answer the questions, because as written on the slides, you can try and maybe share a poem, or it could be, a short poem or a name of a book that resonates with you, or a song that resonates with you. So maybe we can have one more person or two. And then obviously we can, again, I don't know if the chats have been enabled, but we can try as much as possible to just communicate there and tell us where you're from. Maureen. Okay, Maureen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maureen Magak. I'm from Maskani, Mombasa, and I'm glad to be here today. And I work with the Lender Voice Africa, even as I'm in Maskani, Mombasa. And I think I also do a poem, but today I want to share like a song that I really like singing a lot in almost all my karaoke. So it's called Fix You by Coldplay. I like the message it shares, and it just centers you to, expect and just learn to know the things you cannot control, the things are within your control, and know that you cannot get all the things you want at the same time, and that is just okay. And I'm just passionate about being kind to humanity, being kind to yourself as well. I really like that. And a memorable experience I had. Oh my God. I don't know if it has to be negative or positive, but recently I experienced firsthand, when there's a thief being chased around. When somebody tells you a thief was chased, it is a story. But I was recently at a spot where the thief was being chased and he was running directly to me and everyone else, that is chasing him behind. So I was the most confused because I did not know which direction to take, whether they'll grab me like in the movies and, start using me as leverage. So that scared me so much. So I remember that and it will scare me for some time. And I think some people not guess much that I'm a stand-up comedian because they haven't seen me much out there. And yeah.
That's nice. It's good to know.
Thank you so
Maybe we'll
much.
have a small segment for you towards the end where you can make us laugh a little, but that's on a later note. So on the chat box, I can see Emily saying that she's from Siaya and she's the sugar that makes your tea better, the lemon that makes your lemonade, and the silence you sometimes need. That's quite an introduction. Thank you. There's someone else who says that they love to read, and there's the road less traveled by Dr. M. Scott. It helps them to get to listen to, or it helps them to get to listen to themselves. That's a good one. Thank you for sharing. Now, again, we'll have one more person to share, and this time, maybe you could share something you are passionate about that does not relate to your work. Personally, I would say I am passionate about food, whether it's eating or cooking or producing it. I am passionate about food, and it has nothing to do with where I'm from. It's just who I am. So anyone else? One more person? Okay. So no one
Hello.
else? Hello.
I raised my hand, but I guess you didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yes. My name is Diana. I'm from Nairobi. One thing I'm passionate about is trees. I love anywhere that is green, environments where trees can be planted. I feel like being able to connect in nature takes us back to our roots, and we're able to connect with our ancestors. So I'm passionate about being in spaces where I can be able to plant them and being in spaces where I can be able to experience them. So you'll find me enjoying my free time always, either in a forest or just somewhere where there are trees. Yes, I am passionate about nature.
Yes, it helps us to feel grounded as well. Thank you for your
Yes.
response. And I found my foodie people in the comment section. Okay, so please keep them coming, and let's keep the chat box interactive. You can continue telling us where you're from, and you know, continue answering the questions. So then let's get into it. Thank you, Florence. I've seen, okay, I'll just read it because it's the last thing I've seen. Florence says, I have you. Yeah. She's from Nairobi. She loves Book of Impact Now. The Book of Impact Now, it's the 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Passionate about food and music. Hey, my foodie people. Both bold and shy. I get you. But thank you. So let's keep interacting. I'll continue with the presentation. Yeah. Wait. How do I get rid of this? Send it. Okay, so we will just go to the brief overview. So in recent years, human rights defenders and individuals within the civil society organizations have encountered various challenges in their advocacy for human rights and social justice. And the urgency of this workshop stems from the pressing need to address these challenges, and with a particular focus on mental health intervention. So while you may personally attest to these challenges, we'll also facilitate a session later for sharing insights and experiences. But some of these challenges may include exposure to traumatic events. And even as I go through this, you can as well comment on the chat box and tell us your experiences and maybe challenges that you've been facing as a civic actor. So exposure to traumatic events, where human rights defenders often witness or experience traumatic events such as violence, oppression, and human rights abuses. So this exposure can lead to psychological distress, including symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, and depression. There is also constant threats and harassment, whereby human rights defenders are frequently targeted with threats, intimidation by authorities, powerful individuals, or opposing groups who seek to silence their activism. So this constant pressure can lead to heightened levels of stress, fear, and anxiety. There is also facing social isolation and stigmatization due to their activism. So they may feel alienated from their communities or even face rejection from friends and family who do not really support their work. So this sense of isolation can contribute to feelings of loneliness and despair. We also have, they often navigate complex legal and political environments where their activities may be restricted or criminalized. Legal battles, arrests, and court proceedings can be emotionally draining and take a toll on mental well-being. I know some people, we usually have these safe spaces for HRDs, whereby you can go in exile. So you go away from your country because you're under a lot of pressure and threats. So you move to a different place for you to seek safety, or like a safe space for you, for yourself. So these are some of the challenges that HRDs and civic actors face. There is the relentless nature of human rights work coupled with limited resources and support, which can lead to burnout and compassion fatigue. So human rights defenders may feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the challenges they face and struggle to maintain their passion and motivation. And then I think something else is self-care neglect. So whereby in the midst of advocating for the rights of others, HRDs may neglect their own well-being. They may prioritize their activism over self-care practices, leading to exhaustion and compromised mental health. So basically, these challenges have seen the need for having this safe space that we're having now, where mental health intervention is provided to support all of us in maintaining our well-being, resilience, and effectiveness in our important work. So again, I'll go back to the chat and just check if there's anything, if you guys have shared. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking for someone who maybe has written an experience or maybe challenges that they have been experiencing as human rights defenders or in their advocacy work. Someone has asked, what are the intro questions? The intro questions were, just try and introduce yourself without linking it to your career. You can metaphorically introduce yourself. Maybe you're bad, I don't know, you're fierce, I don't know, something like that. But those were the intro questions. And maybe tell us either a quote, a poem, or a song that really resonates with you that could also inspire someone else. But thank you guys for interacting. Continue sharing your experiences as well as human rights defenders, and the challenges that you're facing. So my slides, okay, cool. So the objective of this workshop is to offer a safe space, like I had mentioned earlier on, for reflection, expression, and healing, while also empowering you to prioritize your mental health as you continue to fight for social justice and human rights. As an artist leading today's session, our main focus will be on the role of art in promoting mental wellness. So I encourage everyone to share their thoughts on how they perceive art's role in advocating for mental wellness. There are no wrong answers again, so let's just be as free as we can and keep our minds open to different perspectives. Art to me uplifts, provokes, it soothes, it entertains, educates, it builds a community, it inspires social change, and provides healing for those impacted and the creators. It also serves as a tool for therapy. So personally, I've conducted workshops where I utilize my music and kalimba for sound healing, and it is because I have seen the power that art holds. The intersection of art and mental health advocacy is a dynamic space where creative expression serves as a powerful tool for promoting awareness, healing, and social change. So like I had said earlier on, that we're gonna maybe share more insights, get more insights and experiences through a panel discussion. And to elicit the insights and the experiences and practical strategies that can maybe inspire and inform discussions on the intersection of art, activism, and mental wellness in the context of civic engagement and human rights advocacy. We will have the next 30 minutes or so talking with Bright Shitemi, who is the founder of a youth-focused mental health organization called Mental 360, and also a wellness startup, Boma. He has a degree in business economics and is a certified public accountant. He combines his economics, economics, business management, and project management skills with his enthusiasm for sustainable and impact-driven work that is locally designed with global insights and applicability. With Mental 360, he provides affordable, accessible, and holistic mental health support to at-risk communities, especially youth, using art and experiential learning to drive awareness, spark conversations, and create impact. So,
Sharon,
yeah.
we are
Yes.
losing
Oh, you're losing me?
you.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I don't know the last thing that you had, but I'll just take it back a little. I was saying that Mental 360, with it, he provides affordable and accessible holistic mental health support to at-risk communities, especially young people, using arts and experimental learning to drive awareness, spark conversations, and create impact. So Mental 360 works through a peer model that empowers persons with lived experience to be champions who raise awareness and support others in the communities. And then we also have Javan Ofula, a spoken word and hip hop artist. I believe Javan has been able to join us now. Yeah, Javan Ofula, who's a spoken word and hip hop artist advocating for social justice and African culture. He is also a literature lover and a community organizer, human rights defender, entrepreneur, and aspiring politician. Javan has been able to work with the community at large, and he's the youth Senate representative from Embakasi North and the co-founder of Mtoto wa Dandora, an NGO in Dandora. He's also the founder of Hip Hop Cradle, a movement that champions for growth of young artists and runs a company that promotes art and artistry in slum areas. I don't know, Shitemi and Javan, if you're on the call. I believe Shitemi is here, but Javan, maybe as you confirm that, again, I'll just go back to the comment section. Thank you guys so much for interacting and commenting. There's someone who says, most traumatic experience, I witnessed a young pass on from stabbing wounds. It really affected me. Okay. Yeah. And these are things that we face in our line of, work and duties as human rights defenders. We have very, very traumatic cases maybe that we have to take care of. And so we end up seeing a lot of things. There is someone else who says, I relate to the self-care neglect because there are always people in need. And in as much as we always want to help people, we have to be in a space that is safe for us and also good enough for us to help other people. You cannot help others if your cup is dry, so you have to fill yours first. There's someone, Salim says, art unites and brings love during distressing times, and it also ignites conversation on critical matters that affect the society, and it has also brought change in leadership across the globe. That is very true. Thank you, Salim. Yeah, so Javan and Shitemi?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we have, hi Shitemi. Shitemi is on the call. I'm so happy. And Javan, maybe we can start with you, Shitemi.
Yes, please. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, it's nice to have you. Maybe I'll just start by asking you to briefly share with us your journey as a mental health advocate. And I believe you're also a human rights defender in your own right. So maybe you could briefly just share your own journey and how it's been navigating. Let's just start there. you can share your own journey as a mental health advocate.
Thank you, Sharon. First of all, I'd like to apologize. I'm in an airport environment, so there's going to be a bit of noise from time to time, like now. Hope you can hear me well. That noise will go down. So, again, my name is Brett, I'm the founder and executive director of W60. I found myself in mental health actually by accident. I'm trained in economics and business studies, and in 2016 I had a very difficult period of time, and I went through depression. And in that time, a few years prior, I'd lost some of my friends to suicide. So in this very tough period, I got to a point where I was also, thinking about ending my life. And fortunately, I was able to reach out to a friend of mine who had talked about his mental health condition on Facebook. And I reached out to him in a bid to get support, but also to learn about what I was going through, because for me, it was not something I was really well versed with. And when I reached out to him, he told me that his situation started out when he was in high school. And I said to him, why don't you go to school and talk to the students about mental health using our stories? Again, and because we were lay people, none of us was a psychiatrist or a psychologist. And so we went to our former high school, and I remember the guidance and counseling teacher saying, look, you have to talk to the whole students because mental health challenges are a crisis. The kids are struggling with a lot. And so I came together with that friend of mine, a few other friends, for me, who are from the arts. For me, art is a very powerful tool, one for healing, but also for awareness creation. If you want to pass a powerful message that's sometimes complex, it's way, way better and more impactful if you package it in form of art. And so we had a conversation with the students through sharing our stories, through art expression. And the impact was that we had about 30 to 40 students reaching out for support. These are students who are reaching out for the first time and needing support. And it became a challenge on me now because I've gone in, I've provoked, I've raised awareness, and people need support. How do I get together a team that can offer them support? So I looked for volunteers, and before long, I had a team of 6, 7 people moving around talking about mental health. So purely accidental. And I said to myself 2 years later in 2018, look, we have an organization here. Why don't you just register? And that's how my journey in mental health started.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that. Now, as you've mentioned, art has got so many roles in mental health. Yes, it's for healing, but also for creating awareness. But now, because you had the idea of integrating art into this advocacy work, how easy was it for you to intersect the roles? And then, other than it being a tool for creating awareness, were there any other reasons that motivated you to integrate art into the activism and mental health advocacy work?
Yeah, so when I was going through my challenges in mental health, music, poetry for me was one of the key ways I was able to deal with my emotions and what I was going through. And so I felt because it worked for me, it might work for someone else. And so we decided I was very intentional, even as we started, that we have art incorporated in our approach. So when we tried it out during our very first awareness activities, it proved to be a very powerful tool. Usually the classical way to carry out awareness used to be have a psychologist or a psychiatrist come talk about mental health, very technical terms. But the fact that we're able to humanize these things through storytelling, through our own experiences, through expression, through poetry and music, uh, created a very powerful way to convey the message in a way that people related with the conversation. Because the other major thing with mental health issues is that they are highly stigmatized. So if you don't find a way that really touches people,
Yeah.
people will tend to just keep it to themselves. So,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why then it became a key component of how we carry out our activities. And maybe I'll share one success story when it comes to employing art. I remember in 2019, we had an inaugural arts festival called the Creole Arts Festival. We were partnered with Senator Kasanga, who at the time was pushing for the Mental Health Amendment Bill, and which was stuck in Parliament. And so we invited Parliament, we invited the Ministry of Health into this arts festival. And it was a very powerful event. And out of that, from that day on, parliamentarians, usually if you've done any advocacy work, you need to do a lot of lobbying. Sometimes you need to use money. But from that event, which was an arts event, parliamentarians took it upon themselves to go and champion these conversation in Parliament. That was very powerful. You don't see that because chances are you'd have to, oil their hands and lobby and call people to workshops, but we didn't need to do all that, and that's because of art. Yeah, thank you, Liboy.
Yeah. So then, maybe now as someone deeply involved in social justice issues and also mental health advocacy, what challenges have you encountered in this line of work, and the challenges that have impacted your mental health? I understand that you started Mental 360 because you were also coming from a dark period, and you were trying to impact other people's lives. But then in the process, are there times that you also feel like maybe your mental health again is also impacted in, it could be positive ways or negative ways, I don't know, but you can share that with us and also tell us how you cope with this challenges, if at all there are challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, so activism is can be a very unforgiving or thankless job because most of the time you're talking to people who are not listening, or you need resources which you don't have. And so most people who work in the activism space struggle with anxiety, stress, burnout issues. Sometimes you ask yourself, do I really need to carry this burden for the rest of society? So people who are in activism for sure go through a lot of mental health challenges. Um, and I think what helped me go through those periods was having community around me, having and empowering each other to be each other. I mean, to hold each other accountable and be there for each other in the tough moments.
Yes.
Also getting buy-in from for our conversation when you talk about mental health, which is something that affects everyone. You realize that strategically there are people in Parliament who also experience these things. So recruiting them, or bringing them on your side so that they identify with your conversation was really helpful. On a personal level, it was again the arts. It was interacting with nature. Going out in nature, finding positive ways to deal with what you're dealing with, because most people will resort to alcohol or something else to deal with the stress, but
Yeah.
there are ways that it's actually free ways that you can help yourself therapize or ground yourself. So nature, music, finding a community that you can always share with, a good friend. If you have a good family, that you're in touch with your family and you're having conversations about the challenge that you have. And if you actually need mental health support, that you have, or you're well resourced to know where and how to access this support.
I agree with you. Yes, there are people who maybe would fall back to using drugs and all these things, thinking that that's how they're solving their situation, but it's really just numbing the pain and also postponing the process of going through this mental mental health breakdown or something. It's a way of postponing it and not numbing your pain, but you have to actually accept it and go through it. And like you said, having a support system is really, really important. A community, with like-minded people that really understand what you're saying and also are helping you to get out of that situation that you're in. There's someone in the comment section that has said, the session is powerful. I can't wait to connect with my mentally motivated, like-minded people. So again, it's just what you were saying, community and being around people that are bringing out the best version of yourself every single day and trying to make your mental wellness better holistically. And then maybe I can read one more comment before I ask you the next question, right? The art provides a platform for expression, destigmatizing mental health issues and fostering empathy and understanding. Through various forms like painting, music, dance, and writing, art enables individuals to convey their emotions and experiences, encouraging dialogue and reducing feelings of isolation. So true. Oh my God, these are really, really nice comments. As a human rights defender, I'm more vulnerable due to the nature of the rights we strive to safeguard. As a woman human rights defender, there are additional risks that are gender specific and demand special attention. Thank you, guys. Please keep posting your feedback, yes. Now I'll ask you the next question. Could you discuss maybe specific examples or projects where you've used art as a tool for promoting mental wellness within your community or among fellow activists? In this case, maybe your team that you're working with under Mental 360, or even other mental health advocates.
Yeah, so one of the key areas which I briefly spoke about before was the Kerala's festival, which for us was a very effective way to carry out advocacy. So very effective and actually low budget way to carry out advocacy in a way that impacted, I think the mental health bill was signed in 2022, just before former President Uhuru left office. So that was like a huge milestone where we were able to trace the impact of art in changing attitudes. In terms of what we do, even internally, we're very keen across all programming areas that art, an element of art and experiential learning is infused in the way we interact with people. You realize that, there's a question that as I was starting out the organization, I used to ask myself, there's so many nice programs that fail. And sometimes you wonder why they fail. And when you investigate, you find that the way you interact with people really defines if a project will be successful or not successful. And so art is one way that you can powerfully engage people. We also employ the use of human-centered design, which for me is art by itself. Is the art of inclusivity and using participatory methods to get everyone's voice and opinion on board when you're working towards a project or a goal. And so having these in place across our programming areas has helped us to be able to get the conversation going in a way that people find relatable and are able to join in without feeling that it's a stigmatizing environment or it's a space that's too technical for them.
Yeah. So someone says it's Rachel, Stephanie. Hi, spontaneous. She says that art therapy has proven to be a powerful transcending all ages. Through their initiative, which is Anika initiative, they've been able to employ this from ages of 8 through to 40 years old. They are amazed every time from the stories they garner and results they find both from host and refugee communities, including school-going children. And then she says, personally, she's been able, it's an honor to gain support from Mental 360 because it has happened before, and they are glad that they are here. I've also gained a lot of support from Mental 360, and that's why Shitemi is joining us today. Maya says, that sounds so beautiful and transformative. Oh, that's a response to Rachel. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Please keep interacting on the comment section, commenting, sharing experiences. If you have any question as well, you can ask or raise your hand. It's completely okay. Now, I wanted to take you back, Shitemi, and now ask you personally, how do you navigate the balance between raising awareness about this difficult conversation and also prioritizing your own mental health and well-being? What strategies do you employ to ensure that self-care and you prevent the burnout?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And initially, when I was starting out, and I started around 2018, 2019.
Sorry?
Sorry, I'm saying initially when I was starting out with Mentor 360 around 2017, 2018, I would carry a huge load because one, I didn't have the resources, so I couldn't employ people, so I had to do all the admin work. Um, because Mentor 360 was like my baby, so I gave it my all. And I realized that I was burning out in almost all the time. And I would struggle with struggle with even finding meaning, for example. So I would question myself, do I really need to do this? And at some point I said, look, you can't really help people unless you're healthy yourself, or else you end up hurting yourself, and then you help no one in the end. And so I took very intentional steps. I remember I had a friend who told me, look, first of all, when it gets to the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, forget about work completely. Check out mentally, look for something else to do. And as I did that, I realized that I was becoming more productive when I went back to Mentor 360 work. So it's really important, even as artists. I know many of the people who are here are artists, and I know an artist is always creating most of the time. It's important that once in a while that you check out of that space and you have a plan that every day between this time to this time, or every weekend, I will check out of this space and try find something else I can do to unwind, or I'll spend time with family, or I do something that gets me out of this thing that I always do. So that really helped me back then in a way that also transformed the organization, because becoming more intentional with my own self-care allowed me to be more productive at work, allowed the organization to thrive. And also as a leader, it grew me as a leader in a way that you understand that you can delegate roles and trust people to do things that you would want to do yourself. So that really transformed me. So I encourage everyone that the world will not stop if you check out for 1 hour or 2 days and do something else.
That is so true. That is so true. Thanks for sharing that. I think even I needed to hear that. So Maya says work-life balance is so important, and being able to manage expectations and have clear boundaries of your time off. Having some social hobbies with friends and solo activities for deep relaxation also helps. And then there's a question, and I would like to address it to you, Shitemi. There's someone who says, hi, I am Helen Ongere. The mental health issues needs to be discussed in all institutions and even in youth gatherings. How can you people assist a team doing arts to sensitize the above groups?
Sorry, repeat the question again.
Mental health issues needs to be discussed in all institutions and even in youth gatherings. So how can we assist a team doing arts to sensitize the above groups? I guess the above groups is young people.
Yeah, so for a team doing arts, the first thing you want to do with the artist is raise awareness among the group. So it could be a training in psychological first aid, it could be a training on psychoeducation, for them to understand what mental health is, and then through their art they'll be able to speak to the issues that they want to address with the youth communities and in the corporate spaces. So of course, step one is that you yourself as an artist, as an individual, you're empowered. Because there's a, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I work with artists a lot, and there's always a notion, or let me say a culture of saying an artist is this kind of person. An artist is someone who will smoke weed. An artist is someone who will drink, alcohol. An
Yes.
artist is someone
Yeah.
who will not sleep properly. Those are stereotypes that are not true. So having people going through training to realize that you can be a different type of artist, not what everyone does, and still be
Yes.
very impactful and creative, is step one to using art to raise awareness among youth and corporate event spaces. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I have two more questions, also because of time. How can art amplify marginalized voices and foster greater empathy and understanding within society?
Yeah. So and I always encourage artists that when you create something, there's so many amazing pieces that are never get out, right? Sometimes because the artist doesn't feel they're good enough, or sometimes because there is no dissemination plan, or there is no structure around it. So there are many good things that don't reach the masses. And so once you work on something that you feel speaks to a disadvantaged group, or speaks to um, something you're really passionate about in society, it's also your job or to make sure that it gets to the ears that need to listen to it. Because the beauty of it is once it gets to them, it will definitely have impact. So it's about working through our structures as artists on how we disseminate our works to achieve impact. Is it and social media has really helped a lot. You don't need to go through I don't know, the structures back then where you had to go through gatekeepers in the industry. Right now, artists are able to launch their own careers from their bedrooms and disseminate their work. So I'd encourage you to take that step and find creative ways to move your product and get it to the people that need to listen to it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shitemi. I've also learned so much from this session, from this I don't know, the section. I don't know now if there's anyone else who would like to ask a question.
Sharon, you there?
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Proceed, Sharon. I think we had lost Shitemi. That's why I was a little bit concerned. But you can proceed.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Can
hear
everyone
you.
hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Maybe I've seen some comments. Someone, Otieno Mbok, says, I've been using drama therapy, working with displaced people and refugees since the 90s. I'm one of the co-founders and moderators of Mashujaa Wellness, a banter group that supports HRDs in need of mental health support. Good job, Otieno. There's also Henry, who says, hi, I'm a human rights defender in Uasin but currently working at MTRH as a social worker, the Department of Mental Health. Most of the patients are youth, and some are brought by families and want them to stay in hospital. How can we work with you to do sensitive, or to sensitize, I guess, the communities and the youth about mental health? Henry, I think we'll have Liboy or Sharon share my contact details with everyone that has attended today, and please feel free to reach out to discuss partnership. There's a comment from Geoffrey, artists from marginalized communities often use their work to reclaim their identities, share their experiences, and advocate for their rights, making their voices heard in society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Geoffrey. Thank you, everyone. Please, you can continue sharing your experiences, comments, feedback, or even question. So what's going to happen is at the end of this, we will try and provide this presentation to Inuka Kenya, and then hopefully you will get you'll get to have it. Mental 360's contact details is also included in it, so you can always reach out to them. yeah, so I guess we can keep the session going. But Shitemi, thank you so much. It's been nice having
Thank
you
you.
here. Thank you for creating time and also sharing your experiences and providing insights and advocating for art as a tool for mental health. Yeah, thank you so much. So please, we can continue with the presentation.
Okay, thank you and goodbye.
Thank you too. Bye-bye. So I don't know why. Okay, now it's working. So overall, the intersection of art and mental health advocacy embodies the transformative potential of creative expression to promote healing, resilience, and social transformation in individuals and communities impacted by mental health challenges. So in this section, I encourage open-mindedness, and I encourage you guys to also tap into your creative side. Please do not overthink things, but just allow your emotions to dictate. So we're going to have different activities. And in case you have any question, you can raise your hand. In case you have anything to say, you can always comment on the chat box. Thank you, Salim. I'm so happy that you've been able to learn so much from Shitemi. Yes, and even Shitemi has already sent his email address, so you can access it there. Now, so the first activity we're going to do is guided art therapy. The intention is to focus on expressing emotions or experiences related to mental health. For example, depending on where you are, I don't know if majority of us are at home or if you're in the office. If you're walking, you can maybe just take a moment and sit down for this session. It's quite interactive, maybe new to some people, but again, try to be as open-minded as possible. So look for a pen or a pencil and a paper. And if you can get colors, the better. So the work is to try your very best to depict your feelings using colors and shapes. Again, do not overthink it. So let's just try and take maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes and allow our minds to explore. Are we together? Maya has raised. Okay, Maya.
Yeah. Liboy, maybe can you give us 1 minute to get the supplies?
Okay. So you have 1 minute to get the supplies, depending on where you are. And if not, you can also use your phone. You know, nowadays phones are also very, they save us from a lot of headaches and paperwork and all that. So if you can get your note on your phone, and maybe be able to draw something, that would be really great. Okay, I believe we have the, hello. I believe you've gotten the supplies and the stationaries with you. So maybe now you have 4 more minutes. Just try and express your emotions. Tell us how you're feeling now using shapes and colors, whatever it is that you will draw. And then we'll have 3 people to just share the drawings with us. Yeah, this is a very interesting session and I'll tell you why. Okay. Just allow your mind to explore and try to figure out what it is you're feeling through shapes and colors. Salima, I don't know if the 4 minutes have ended. I wasn't even looking at the time.
Maybe just give them an extra
Okay.
1 minute. Yeah, thank you.
Anyone who's done and willing to share, to show us what they've been able to come up with? Anyone? You can turn on your video and your audio as well. And Aaron Marusoi says that he's joining from Kericho and is really glad to be part of this important mental wellness clinic. Thank you, Aaron, and karibu sana. If at all you've drawn something, you can also share with us. Anyone?
I'm still drawing.
Okay. Anyone who's done? Other than Maya, are people drawing? Melissa Wainaina. Hi, Melissa.
Can you hear me?
Your mic is very low.
Okay. Maybe I'll type, but yes, I'm done. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Do you mind sharing your screen so that we see what you've been able to draw?
Sure. I don't know how to do that.
I think you just there's a place written stop video. I think you have clicked on it. So if you click on it again, but Alan is better to help. He's in a better position to assist than me. So.
Yeah, okay. So it was
Okay, now we see you and I think I can hear you.
So I don't know if you can
That's
see.
beautiful. Have you drawn the flowers as well?
No, this is a sticker.
Oh, I was like, hey, you only had 4 minutes.
I don't think we can see her screen.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Alan, I'm sorry, but we need your help.
Sharon, just stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Can you see?
Please move closer to your microphone.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So thank you for the session. I came a little late. And I mean, maybe I can send my visual later, but it was just a mantra for me, more around setting intentions for the month. I really like the sharings today, kind of reminding me as an artist and an activist, so I call myself an activist, to always be in the present moment and be intentional about what it is I'm doing. So your activity just kind of reminded me that even in these discussions, that it's important to also just take time to remind ourselves why this is important, how it's
Exactly.
important, and to use a creative way. So I was in my head a little in the session, and this allowed me to come back to my body. So thank you for the activity. I just
Thank you.
wrote loving who I am, where I am in this present moment, and I used colors to do that.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing that. Yes, like you've said, it's very important because many a times we get lost in what is being presented to us, but then we also have to take time and beware of whatever it is that is going within you. So mentally, in your heart, emotionally, we have to take time and just, like Bright said, the world will not stop because you've taken an hour to yourself. So that's the importance of this activity, to also just be aware of how you're feeling in as much as you're getting all these things thrown at you. Being aware of your emotions also helps you to be aware of how you're going to accommodate other people in your space. So anyone else? Okay, people cannot share screen, it's okay. But maybe someone who can turn their videos on the way Melissa did and show us. We can have 2 more people. Okay, 1 more person and then we go to the next activity.
Okay, let me see if I can share. The settings are not okay. I see.
Maybe as Maya, you figure that out. We'll just have Maya. Maya will be the last person to share.
Lights the dark. Let me see.
Okay, good. You can see it. That's
We
interesting.
work with the lighting.
We can see it. That's interesting. Mind sharing what it's about?
I woke up feeling very chaotic today. I felt very tired. I don't know. I just felt like a lot of like a zing of energy, the lightning, and then I don't know. Just these colors came to mind, and I always like just different geometric shapes, zigzags, it's kind of like a pulsation of energy in your body, and you're just like, okay, I need to do these things, but I was so tired. And then I also was like, oh, maybe I just felt very grumpy and a bit like an alien when I woke up. So yeah, and then also I think it's just part of like I'm coming to that's part of the cycle. So then there's some like drops of blood. Yeah. But
Interesting.
basically I just felt grumpy, chaotic, and like an alien. So that was the mood this morning.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
This okay. So there's someone else who says my drawing is basically, that's Otieno Ombok. He says that my drawing is a traffic light and that all the lights red are yellow and green, and it's because of the floods and I'm deeply affected. Thank you for sharing, Ombok. Yes, maybe we can go to the next activity. Allow me to share my screen again. Wait, where is it gone? Okay, you're able to see my screen? So the next one, we'll skip the collaborative 3-line poems, but that's something you can do later on in your own time. Now, I don't know if I share, if I play some music, if you'll be able to hear. Please just let me know if you're able to hear it. Are you able to hear anything?
Yes,
I
but it's but it's so faint.
The music, yeah? Oh, it's
Yeah.
faint. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, maybe as I work on this, again, in your own space, just try to write either a 1-sentence quote, saying, or a 3-sentence poem that describes how you're feeling or about mental wellness and resilience. Again, we have 5 minutes. Don't overthink it. Just try and write any inspirational thing that you can put out for others to also take in. Okay. So I will try and go through the comments. Salim says that him and Maya, they've woken up from the same side of the bed because the drawing is almost similar to his. He has so much to do, but he's totally confused. Once again, I hope that these activities really help you to center yourself, be aware of your emotions, and also just blocking out noise and try to see what works for you, what it is you want to do, what it is your body is telling you to do. There's someone else who says, Wairimo Mary, my drawing is squidgely shapes, which shows me I am flexible, curious, and ready to connect. I love it. Like you're just, free also. Aaron says, I just found my coloring largely taken up by cool colors. It's about what we go through as civil society actors while performing our duties in the community and the prejudices we go through all day round. Thank you for sharing, Aaron. Sylvia Olko. How do these artistic choices contribute to the overall message or impact of the piece? Are there any specific aspects of the artwork's composition or style that you find particularly intriguing or effective? Sylvia Oko, I don't know, maybe you can clarify? And also, yeah, because there are questions and maybe you could clarify. Bahati Hesbon says the value of greatness transcends from understanding the value of forgiveness. That's a good one. Thank you. May the possibilities be endless for your work to uplift and heal. May you be grounded in your being, mind, body, and spirit as you move each day. Thank you for that. My poem, Juliet Kisule says, I live, laugh, love. I walk, dance, move. I am alive. That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Stand up for the right, even if you stand alone. Stand firm, so long as what you're standing for is right. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. Otieno Mbok says, I took Eric Donaldson's reggae song that has green light red. Okay. Salim says, I rise up strong, but my mind is tired, but I push on because I am a spirit of optimism and resilience, which stands for the weak in society. Thank you guys for sharing. Now I'm unable to fix my sound issue. So maybe Salima, let me try and send you a link that you can play as people keep sharing. Yeah, we'll just spend like 5 more minutes.
Maybe shall we send it to Alan?
Hello, yeah?
Yeah, maybe you send it to Alan. I think he'll be well suited to help.
Okay. I can just then, let me try and see if I can send it to Alan directly. Yeah, I can. I've sent it to you directly, Alan, on the chat box, so you can try and thank you. Beatrice Amathi says, for me as a human rights defender handling cases of SGBV, anytime I'm stressed, I dance like crazy for me to be free. Yes, movement. And that's also one of the activities we're meant to do with the music and movement. Movement helps you to just let go. And also there's something about tension in our bodies and releasing it as we move and dancing. So that's really beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Beatrice. I guess you will enjoy the next segment then. Maureen says, I am a jar of positivity. I thrive in kindness. The world is mine to conquer. Yes, thank you. Affirmations. Thank you so much for sharing that. So as Alan tries to help us with the sound as he works on it, this next activity is music and movement. Let's just try to have a brief session of sound healing or guided meditation. Not really guided, but sound healing and meditations. So we'll try and play music, really calming music, and we encourage all of you to move and stretch your bodies to release tension as grounding exercises. And like one of us shared that they love to, anytime they feel like they're stressed, they just dance a lot, like crazy, because it helps. So that's our next activity. Again, if you're at home, you're at home, so no one is gonna see you or judge you. If you are on the road maybe, or on the move, maybe you can just move a little or listen to the music and just try and meditate. If you're in the office and maybe it's a good space for you, you can, and if not, you can always look for a quiet space that you can do this activity. Alan, I don't know if you're able to. Thank you so much, Sylvia. You're saying that you loved the session. It was very informative, and more of this is to enlighten the youths on such topics, or more of this to enlighten the youths on such topics. Thank you so much. Salim, we will try to make the sessions to physical meetings. We need to interact and dance to unwind, of course. Redempta Mwikali says, I see the sun, the palm trees, and I feel the peace and tranquility around me. I see the floods, the devastation and destruction on every screen I tap, and I know I am part of both worlds. I lost it. I'm part of both worlds. My heart is filled with sadness over the loss and pain, yet the same heart floods with hope that the sun will shine again, the skies will show temperance, we will live to pick up the pieces together as one. Thank you for that. That's very motivational. Yeah, Salima. Cool, thank you.
Architecture and interior design?
Songi songi bandiko ye likambo na motema ye ngai na motema unu para kileba chulilo lutua ona makambo ye.
Thank you so much, Alan, for helping us with the sound and playing the music for us. I will just go to the comment section. Someone says, the Lingala people, I can't dance to slow music. That's completely okay. I wish you just muted ours and then played yours, but the intention was for you to just connect with yourself. And again, the rule number one was to try and be open-minded. But thank you for your honesty. Wairimo Mary says, as I sway side to side on my work chair, I can't help but connect with the hope of life and devastation of loss. It feels like a river flowing with both life and rage. But I know it will all be all right because I'm in flow with all of life. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much. Is there anyone who would like to share with us best therapy this morning? Thank you. Anyone who would like to unmute and share, you know, how that session made them feel? Any feedback? Alfred Abuka.
Hi, team.
Hi, Alfred.
It has been great. Just being able to, like now, to have a self in a session with yourself. And I'm one person who I really love the vibe of those nyimbo za kitambo, like rumba. So I really felt well. And it is a session like I'm unwinding, keeping in mind the works that we do. Sometimes you may not get time to do sessions like therapy, but if you can relate to art and forms of art like music, I think they really play a big role when it comes to unwinding and just making you to have those deeper reflection and just some time comfort and congratulate yourself and just acknowledge each effort that you are doing out here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And you're right. I think even earlier on when Shitemi was talking, when he was sharing his insights and talking about art and the role it has on mental wellness, I think art is very, yes, it's diverse, but then it has just the same purpose. So whether it is Lingala, whether it is, I don't know, R&B, whichever, but it has the same, it gives you an emotion. So that emotion is what this exercise was trying to allow you to feel. You feel it and then you tap into it and allow yourself to just go with it, go with the flow. You're welcome. Otieno, you're saying thank you for the session. I met new and old friends in the struggle and feel comforted by seeing them and being a passive participant and relaxation that I get at my comfort. You're welcome. Music called me to stillness and meditation. Thank you so much, Florence. The dancing section has helped me connect with my body and be in touch with my emotions and relax. Body movements and dancing is a very important therapy in mental wellness. I'm so glad that you found it very interesting and helpful. Again, I will go back to sharing my screen. So I'm looking at the time and we don't have so much time left. So the last activity, which was meditation session, I will ask you to, at your own free time, try and do it. It's the meditation session whereby you invite yourself to find a comfortable sitting position, or you could just lay down on the floor and close your eyes and then play any music. Now you have the liberty to choose that makes you feel calm and relaxed. And yeah, try and focus on your breath and allow the music to guide your thoughts and emotions. So that's something that I'm encouraging you to do at your own free time. Oops. So I think we will, because you've already shared and you're continuing to share in the comment section, maybe now we can try and go back to the role of art and how it can be used as a tool for promoting mental wellness and advocating for human rights in East Africa, based on the exercises that we've done. And I would ask, it's open. Anyone can unmute themselves, raise your hand and unmute yourself so that we get to hear from you. But from the exercises we've had, what do you think, how do you think art can be used, as a tool for promoting mental wellness? Has it been helpful to you? And then now moving forward with our advocacy work and also trying to put our mental wellness first in the advocacy work. Anyone who'd like to share how art can be used as a tool? Reflecting on the sessions we've had. Have you had any sensations that arose while we had the activities? Sorry, I can't see. You're welcome, Redemptor. I'm happy that you got a moment to decompress. Marceline Nyambala, thank you for the practical wellness session. Very much welcome. I hope you get to do the last activity at your own free time. Is there anyone who would like to share and answer the question? Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you so much. I'm going to try. Being in this space of advocacy and also creating an awareness, I think art can be used as a tool to promote mental well-being and advocating for human rights. And first in the gathering, when we meet people, we must realize that even if not all of us are out there doing some artwork, each and every person has some artistic is an artist, has an artistic, nature in them.
Side. Yeah.
And the way you just told us today, for example, write a 3-line poem, draw something. Some of us probably we've never done such a thing, but if you allow people in a free space and tell them and guide them, and someone comes up with something, and then they get to explain the way Maya has explained what this means to me, and that is artistic, and they get to realize their inner self. And this put us at a space where we not only have to do it ourselves and describe to them, but put the power in the people's hands to create what they feel, to create the problems and how they feel they can be solved artistically, and just to give their mental sense a work on realizing, yes, you are here, you have a part to do, and this is happening, and this is how you can help it. So I think art is a very powerful tool in itself, like even Shitemi said. And of course, this encourages me that in the space, especially where I work with Land of West Africa, it takes me to that space where I should always mainstream art in our activities, because again, it puts people in this present. It also prompts people to even think of the future artistically. So thank you so much. That was a bit of my view. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maureen, for sharing. Maybe I could ask you, or anyone else who would be willing to answer, any important takeaway that you think you might practice more moving forward in your life, and even as you continue with your advocacy work?
Okay, for me, I would say I'll prioritize a lot in finding time to celebrate myself, self-love, because as HRDs, as people who care for others in the community, we rarely have that time for ourselves. And many people work with will tell you that is true. So I'm taking away that Shitemi has said the world will not stop if you take a day for self-love, and that has really taught me a lot. And I was like feeling, yes, so I should not even feel guilty if I take that one day and say, guys, no calls today. So that really made me feel really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to share something, key takeaway, or how the activities have made you feel?
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Personally, I'm not an activist. I'm also a mental health counselor, but doing this activity has reminded me to connect with my inner child, which is I feel a very important aspect of life, where we go through adulting forgetting to get in touch with ourselves. And children are the most pure people you may ever come across. Their innocence, their curiosity for life. So doing this activity has reminded me that in everything I need to get back in touch with myself as a child and what I do. So it was very enlightening.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I agree with you. Like I said earlier on, you can't help others if you're pouring from a dry cup. You have to work on yourself for you to also to be able to help others. You cannot not work on your mental health and expect to help others heal on theirs. I think it's like a win-win thing. I have to be good, and then I help someone else. The other person, it's just the same thing. We all have to create spaces where we are able to accommodate ourselves, and then it is only then that we'll be able to accommodate others. I cannot be a very chaotic person and I expect to relate well with other people. I will always exhume hatred and chaos. So we try to change ourselves as well in this journey. Juliet Kiselu says, beautiful session. Thank you. I'd also like to encourage people to just go out there in nature to walk. And I agree with that. Anyone wants their life to change, heal, start going out in nature to walk daily. Do it for 21 consecutive days. I would say yes, do your best to try and connect with nature. And again, I don't know if you people have been hearing this, but so many people are like tired with Nairobi because of, you know, the way we've done away with the green environment. It's no longer green. We're taking away cities and putting a lot of concrete. And so we're feeling like we're choked because there is not, we don't have a lot of spaces that are green for us to feel like we're grounded and taking us back to nature. And that is very, very important. So try as much as you can to go out and connect with nature. It's very important. Beatrice says, I will focus more on affirming myself and affirming other women, human rights defenders, and also to love themselves. Thank you. Yes, connect with your inner child. It's very important. It's the one thing that reminds you of who you are. Spending time with children and animals is also healing. Oh, yes. And you know, you can learn so much just from observing animals. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you. Melissa says, thank you for this amazing session. I need to drop out soon for another meeting. It's okay, Melissa. We're also just winding up. Yeah. Asanteni for all the feedback. Sustainable leadership is the future. The inner healing has massive ripples on interpersonal relationships and leadership. Thank you so much. So then allow me to, we're winding up. I don't know why my slide is not, yeah. Yes, so follow-up resources, again, like I had said earlier on, that we will try and provide you with enough resources that you can always go back to. So, which I will share with Salima and I believe that once she has it, you'll be able to get it. I will share a document that has mental health support organizations like Mental 360, Games for Mental Health, whereby they usually use a lot of games to connect you to your inner child and help you heal mentally and work on your mental wellness holistically. There's also Tika Health. They have different activities. Also, they still have drum circles, happening in town every first Friday. I think now it has only paused because of the rainy season, but it's where you just go for sound healing, playing drums, and a lot of people who come from work wearing suits and all that, you will find them there because they come to release the pressure and stress, and they go home very happy. So there is that. I will also encourage us to stay connected. This is now a community that we have created, and I would like to encourage us to stay connected, to continue with the conversations also online. And you can use, I think there is a hashtag I had put, for Civic Actors Mental Health. So we can try and use that. Salima can also maybe put other hashtags that we can use in the comment section. But otherwise, thank you so much for your time, for actively participating and sharing your insights and experiences. This has indeed been a safe space, and I would like to thank Inuka Kenya, Nisisi, for making this possible, and a huge thank you to Shitemi. It's unfortunate that Javan wasn't able to join in, but I believe it was a technical issue. I've been your facilitator. My name is Liboy. I also will send this presentation has my contact information. So yeah, thank you so much. The session was also recorded, so hopefully Salima will be able to provide it, or the presentation, of course. So let's continue with our advocacy work without forgetting to take care of our mental wellness. Please, I'm begging. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much and have a lovely day ahead. So Salima.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharon. I don't know about you, but for me, I've come out with tools, with resources that I can be undertaking at the comfort of my office, at the comfort of my space, at the comfort of my house. So I'm really grateful, even Sharon, even for agreeing to keep sending us those resources and just encouraging us indeed to keep connecting. And I like the emphasis that we created already a community. Thank you so much. For everyone who joined, and maybe the ones who joined after we had done the introduction, this shall be a series for this entire month, and it's not a coincidence that is happening as we're celebrating the Mental Health Month, which is May. So today we're talking about art for mental wellness, and clearly you've seen that we really need these tools because the world is just so brutal, so hostile. So we need these tools to use if and when we need them. So next week we shall be talking about our personality and how they affect the work we do. Be it a civic actor in Madare, be it a civic actor in Tanzania or Uganda. So we just look and try to understand first and foremost what is our personality trait, character. Do we know? And then how does it affect the relationships that we have with our significant others, at our workplaces, in our communities? So I urge all of us next week on Thursday at 10 to 12, please again register, participate, share the link widely so that we encourage just to form that collective care as a community, and also we heal together. We have these tools together. You don't need, as you said, you don't need to be a psychologist. You don't need to be a therapist just to be able to hold the space and just offer that platform to other people. I know our communications person, Joanne, has shared our handles where you can interact further, and even you can still look for other resources on our website. We still beefing up resources on maybe even psychological assessment, screening tools, referral pathway, whether you're in Kenya, Tanzania, or Uganda. So please interact on our platforms just to learn and just to get to see the resources that are available. So please share, connect, and let's keep learning. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Asante sana.